Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Chris with Trucking for My Future. Happy Friday. I just want to take a minute and I want to talk about Tesla, the real deal with Tesla. Very popular stock. Everybody's going kind of crazy with it. They've had a lot of changes recently, and of course, a lot of it is focused around their production capabilities. Their facility in China is really starting to crank things out. They're starting to see some improvement from their other factories. The projections are looking good. They're talking about putting out, just hundreds of thousands of vehicles in no time. And they've got a couple other little things in the works with the big battery pack, and they're talking about possibly actually building their own facility to import lithium and make their own batteries. There's Tesla's all over the page at the moment, but in good ways. They're diversifying in a couple of different directions. It's not just a car, and they're coming out with new models and new production and manufacturing processes, and so their stock is looking up. But what bothers me a little bit about Tesla and the people that are hyping it and pumping it seems to me that they have pretty wild expectations. I've heard them talking about the expected rate of EV adoption into our society. They're talking about like 30% within the next couple of years and 60% within the next 10 years. And no, they're basing a lot of their market decisions and their money decisions on this fallacy. I think it's a fallacy that everybody's just going to transition right into electric vehicles, or at least hang on, like half the country. Not going to happen. Dang, it's just not going to happen. I can guarantee that. And sadly, that skews their numbers because a lot of times they are relying on that adoption rate for generating their sales figures to justify a huge stock price. So those of us who are invested, excuse me, dropped my lighter there. Those of us invested in Tesla, of course, we want to hear that. We want to hear it's going to skyrocket right to the moon. It's going to be $5,000 a share, within the next 5 years. But let's talk reality here, okay? Especially here in America. Now, you will see probably a little bit of a higher EV adoption rate in other countries, but not here in America. I don't really care how much brainwashing they've done of our Gen Zs and millennials to think that EVs are the way to go. You still got a lot of boomers out there. And you got a lot of Gen Xers out there. And there's a lot of millennials that are the older millennials up at the top of the bracket there. There ain't no way. They know better. And they see the limitations that an EV brings to the situation. Not only do people really not want the EVs, some do. I mean, I'm totally down with it. If you like them and you want one, hey, I'm with you. Whatever blows your skirt up and makes you smile, hey, that's fine. Um, but there are a lot of people like myself. We love our gas cars. We're not giving them up. We're not going to deal with a vehicle that you have to pull over and sit and charge every 300 miles. Not going to happen. We'll pull in and fill it with gas and get right back on the road. We're not going to sit and wait for a car to charge at a charging station every 300 miles. And I know they're trying to get the, the range improved with better batteries and better technology, but it just ain't there yet. So it doesn't really matter how well the things drive. It doesn't really matter how slick and cool and neat and techy. People need cars to perform. It provides a vital function. And long ranges and finding places to charge and the wait time, we're very impatient. We don't like it when it takes a long time to get to the pump because the lines or something. You know, that makes us angry. We're really not going to have the patience to sit and wait for our car to charge. The EV adoption rate in America is nowhere near what these people are claiming, and it will not hit those targets that they project. Therefore, Tesla stock is not going to go as high as quickly as they are speculating. It will continue to grow because Tesla is a good company. They are diversifying into different things, and of course, Elon Musk is dealing with SpaceX and everything else. I mean, it's gonna grow. It's a good company. I got no qualms whatsoever about being invested in it. But you're hearing an awful lot of hype about it, and they're using kind of numbers that I just can't get behind. And the other problem that's going to keep EV adoption rate down is basically our power grid. We do not have the infrastructure, nor have we invested the money in upgrading or reinventing our power grid, not just in any particular state, but across the country. We're not prepared for 30 and 60% of our drivers to switch over to EVs. We do have a problem with our infrastructure, with our power grid. I know it doesn't seem like it because we probably have the most reliable power of any country out there. But the problem is we are continuing to grow exponentially on our power consumption. But we've done nothing to upgrade the infrastructure or to build new power plants. So the capacity that we have for output is not going to be able to withstand the strain of such a huge increase in demand. The nation would have to spend a lot of money, an ungodly amount of money, to rebuild our infrastructure and the power grid to handle that much output. And I don't see that happening in a quick process. It could happen, and don't get me wrong, 10 years from now, every fourth car could be an EV. That's possible. It's not out of the realm of possibility. And we could upgrade our power grid to handle it. But I don't see it hitting those 60%. Not going to happen. Just reaching the 30% adoption rate, I think is going to be a massive challenge. That's going to take at least a decade. So, and I know I'm a truck driver, and it's just my opinion, but I know people, pretty much, and I know from my experience dealing with people, there are certain people that have really bought into the green technology and EVs and trying to, save the planet. But there's a lot of people that are way more conservative. And come on, America is in love with the gasoline engine. I mean, look at all of our cars. Look at our muscle cars. And we got monster trucks, and we love our gasoline diesel. Just they're not going to give it up. They're not going to give up the horsepower. They're not going to give up the hot rods. They're not going to give up the racing cars and the dragsters and all. They're just not going to do it. They're not going to do it for a little electric car. And I know they're getting them nicer and they're building them nicer and all of that. And I know they're building them faster so that they got a little pep to them. But it's just so much easier and much more comfortable for the typical American just to get in their car, go down to the gas station, fill up, and go. And another little factor that a lot of people are not keeping in mind, the oil industry and the energy people are not just going to lay down and let EVs come in and take all of their money. They're not going to do it. These people, the oil industry and the energy sector, has been in bed with our politicians forever. And there's just an insane amount of money that has changed hands within this country and within the backroom deals and everything that's going on. They're not going to just lay down and let electric vehicles steal away all their profits and push them into ruin. It's not going to happen. No matter how great it sounds, no, it's not going to happen. Kind of reminds me of Bitcoin. We have so many people out there that are convinced that Bitcoin is going to be the future. That's going to be the money. And everything else is going to go away pretty much, and the world's going to use Bitcoin. Not going to happen. Not unless the people that control the money now own and control Bitcoin. They're not going to lay down and just let some rogue thing come in and steal all away their power and profits and fortunes. They're not going to do it. They're not going to let it happen. They're going to stop it. And they're pointing it out right now. They're already finding out that they're having issues with the entire Bitcoin technology. They're having people who are altering the data out there, and it's getting by. So it's not the impenetrable and completely 100% safe and fantastic system that they thought it was going to be, unhackable, unbreakable. Yeah, there's questions about it now. So we'll see in the next few years how that pans out. But they've already found some faulty nodes that had corrupt data, altered data. So we'll see how that plays out. But kind of reminds me of the same thing, though, as far as the whole concept that the people that have the money and the power and the control are not just going to lay down and go to sleep and let their power and fortunes be taken away from them. They're going to take steps to protect themselves and to protect their futures and their fortunes. They're not going to just let these rogues come in and take over. EVs, same thing as Bitcoin in the dollar. So Anyway, guys, that's my thoughts on it. That's my thoughts on Tesla. It is a good company. I am invested in it. I do hope for it to go up. I just, when you're hearing the hype out there, people talking about it, take a breath and let your logic kick in and know, you know, the facts of the world in which we live in. There's a whole lot of shady stuff going on out there, and the people that have it, they ain't gonna let go of it. They're not gonna give up easy. And while it can be extremely profitable and can be, these new companies coming in with these new ideas can definitely make a lot of money for a lot of people. Doesn't mean they're gonna have the power and ability to completely take over. So, all right, guys, that's gonna be the video. I just wanted to touch base on that because I'm hearing a lot about it, and Tesla's a hot topic right now. So I figured I'd throw that out there. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next video. Keep your eye on the market. It's kind of been wishy-washy. And right now, I can't buy into it, even though I want to, because it keeps dropping down and giving me discount prices. I got to wait until I get all this whole job thing straightened out. I'll be switching probably sometime next week, going over to Lexington, Kentucky. And that'll be my home office area right there, but I'll be all over the whole central part of the U.S. So, all right, guys, we'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.